So what about motivation for Friday before basketing for club racing?
What we do is, it's about, they go up 4 o'clock, so about 3 o'clock we just go in and put them together.
So you put, what would you do? Just let your hens go into the cocks, into the boxes?
Yeah, we just lift the slide and all the hens come through.
Right.
They'll go up to the boxes.
They'll go to the old boxes, yeah.
Into the pans, and I just shut them all in.
Right.
And I just leave them for about half an hour.
Would you leave them to tread if they wanted?
No, I just lock them in. To that, you know.
Right, so you
in the bedroom part.
Hens in one part with a pan, maybe.
With a hen.
And the cocks in the other side of the box.
No, they're both in together. Locked in together.
They're both in together?
Yeah.
So they can mate and
they can
meet, beak, tread, do what they want?
I just come out and do not look. What I do, I put them in.
Leave them together,
and I come
back half an hour.
I come half an hour and by that time,
so
they're all in the bowls.
So they're all happy. And would you shop the system though from one week to the next, or would you do that same half an hour week out throughout the year?
It's just
you just do exactly the same and come away half an hour, go back basket up.
Because I find something, I know there's a lot of people who are just 5 minutes and stuff, but
yeah,
you just find out what works for yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
So when we put them in, we find to go in the cabin, get a cup of tea, and then go back in after half an hour, and all cocks and hens is all in the bowl calling, and then you just go and pick them out. If you go in maybe 10 minutes, some's still up ratting about, give them time to, especially yearlings for the first few weeks, give them time to settle down, get all excitement out of them, and they're all just sitting together like Darby and Joan in the pan, calling, happy, and then just cock out, head out, and just do that. But they go up, and I must say, the pans is left in all the time, they're not took out. And what I'll do is I'll just open the door to let the cocks go in.
Yeah.
But if the cocks don't go in, I don't go picking them up. I don't go picking them up and put them in. Let them.
That's fair dues, that, Ron. Right. Thank you. Obviously, you've told us feeding, motivation, and that. Is there anything else what you think's important? What you've actually missed out? What's just come to memory? You know, to help the sport.
Yeah, I think especially for the lads who's just getting used to the pigeons.
Yep.
On the roundabout or widowhood, is when you open the box, when you open the door to let the cocks go into the boxes,
right.
And some of them go in, just fasten them in. But the pigeons that doesn't go in, don't go running about catching them and putting them in, which we've all done, and it gets them all uptight. So the best thing to do is just leave them, and then when you let your hens come in, the hens take them into the box and just walk up and just fasten them in. Saves you from running about like a lunatic and upsets the whole place on a Friday night. Try to keep everything calm, you know.
And it's calm is important.
Oh, aye, because you get a cock coming, it won't have gone in, and you've just chased it all out of the blick loft on the night before, grabbing it and hauling it in, you know.
Yeah.
So that's a sort of one of the. It's a little thing, but it saves a lot of hassle. Just leave them, and at the finish we didn't really bother. Just open the pens and let the hens come in, let them all go in, and shut them in the pan part, and just leave them.
Right,
and then go and pick them up, and you'll find that I'll be sitting, calling, like we said earlier on, and just pick the cock up out, hen up out, and away they go.
As you'll do like the hen and the cock of that pair.
Yeah.
As you basket one, you'll basket the other one straight away. Then go to the next pair.
That's right, and just go through the ducket like that.
You know, like on the turn of the race with the hens and your cocks, obviously the roundabout.
Yeah.
So obviously all the pigeons go to the race. There's nothing left at home.
No, there's nothing left at home.
Even if a cock's late or an hen's late, it has to wait for its partner to come back.
Either that, or you could have a spare cock and put it in with them, which they
to shock the system.
We used to pair them up to 2 hens.
Right.
So with 1 hen stop at home. That was many years ago. Yeah. We don't do it now because it's just more work.
It's more work.
You're running about, tapping hens out, and so what happens is, obviously, if you've got a cock and a hen. If the one comes back and there's always one floating about, what I do is I just open the door, and she'll come out. She'll get trained off a cock floating about on the floor, and
just keeps her happy
until they get back. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And how long would you leave your cocks and hens together from race?
When they come back from the race, they're left till Sunday morning.
So
all night.
Every week.
Every week.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Right. That's been somewhat different to what most fanciers do.
They're left till the next morning.
Right. That's very good.
But people think, well, they might lay because they have to overnight.
Yeah.
But it's the difference between, obviously, a widowhood hen, which is locked up all week, and a hen that's getting raced or getting trained every day.
Obviously.
They didn't want to pay.
They don't want to pay. Not when they've been like 3-4 hours, and some maybe had all day.
That's right. So
they've had enough time to fly 500 miles.
The only time you've got to watch them is when you get on the in-between races, when the pigeons in between the race, when they go into the channel race, and no inland race.
Yeah.
But what we do is, in case you didn't mention it, what we do.
I was just going to mention something now, Ron. Obviously, if you're channel racing and that, from sprint racing, you would be obviously you're going to be basking a day earlier. Like Thursday, maybe instead of Friday. Would you have to feed earlier on your actual widowwood corn, or
just move it a day?
Move it a day earlier.
Just move it a day earlier.
Do you use any particular peanuts or anything for channel racing? Most fanciers seem to be a big believer of that for, you know, the protein and fats.
I've never used the peanuts like as much as I used to before. The practice was sick sometimes. I used to give them that much. It's anything else too much of a good thing, isn't it? But if I can get them to eat them, I wouldn't mind giving them. But since we've got on the Expert 3, I'd rather just use the strip sunflower. It's just as much protein and fats and what they use on the peanuts, and I can get them to eat it a lot.
What about
easier.
hemp or black rape and hemp? Do you give
it's all in. It's all in that Expert 3.
That's all in. Very, very good.
So one time we used to mix the strip sunflower, the black grape, hemp. We used to mix them together. Then they fetched out the Bosmoreland, fetched out the Expert 3. So we just put them onto that.
So obviously the Expert 3 is Bosmoreland.
That's who it was, but I think Sir Lather's
I
bought
think
them
they
now.
bought them out. It's the same company as now, isn't it?
Yeah.
You did mention, obviously, you leave your hens in overnight with the cocks till Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But when you did say it could become a bit of a problem, or you changed the actual routine in between channel racing to sprint racing. Can you tell us where, how, and why?
The thing is, it's like if they're still where you see them, mightn't see each other for a fortnight. That's when you got to watch the hens so they don't pair up. So what we do is we still go through like it was a race. So what we do is we'll run them together and we'll take them on a toss on the Saturday morning. So when they come back, they're still left in till the next day.
You'll probably give them a good toss that week.
About 40 or 50, but sometimes if it's 20, it makes any difference.
Long as you're sticking to the routine.
So they come back and they see the cock and they're with the cock overnight. So everything's the same. If they didn't see them for a fortnight and it's warm, that's when they start to look at each other. So you may as well have it in with the cock, looking at the cock, and sitting looking at another hen. So it takes their mind off it. And then after that you're away again with the training. But we'll start on the Monday when they've been off for a week. If they haven't been away that weekend, we'll start the training on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like that.
That's very good, that, Ron. You have mentioned particular training systems and training patterns, but is there any way, like sometimes you'll shock the system, like where you've done it in the morning, would you do it at a different training practice throughout the afternoon the following week? You know, am I bringing anything, you know, to mind what you've done or whatever?
We've had some good results without giving them the long chucks, and that's out in the morning, but saying everything starts at Tuesday, they don't go out till Tuesday. So it's Tuesday morning, they'll go out, and then 20 to 25 mile toss on the afternoon. Back in fed. And that's the same thing, and that'll be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And they'll go regardless. It's going to have to be really bad for them not to take them. Fog, you'll not take them in fog.
No.
But anything else, he'll tap them. He used to be drying the baskets outside in front of the fire. They were that wet. When he takes them away, once they go in the car, they'll not be fetching them back. They'll be empty when he comes back. So they get well trained, you know.
They get well trained, so obviously they get used to all the obstacles and the so basically, if the transporter liberates them in a bit of unnecessary weather, or it's on line of flight, which he doesn't know about, your pigeons have already been trained in that, they should, so they've a chance of coming through it.
It's keeping them fit, Steve, and
keeping good results coming in.
And like everything else,
that's very good, that. No?